Both men had wretched timing. My father's father soon learned that Fulton County wasn't Manhattan, or even Salerno, and that few men in his new home would buy expensive custom-made shoes instead of cheaper machine-made ones. So he had little choice but to become a shoe repairman. And by the time my mother's father arrived in Gloversville from Vermont, the real craft of glove cutting was already under assault. By the end of World War I, many gloves were being pattern cut. For a size 6 glove, a size 6 pattern was affixed to the skin and cut around with shears. Once he returned from World War II, the process was largely mechanized by clicker cutting machines that quickly stamped out pre-sized gloves, requiring the operator only to position the tanned skin under the machine's lethal blades and pull down on its mechanical arm. I was born in 1949, by which time there wasn't much demand for handmade gloves or shoes. But both my grandfathers had long since made their big moves to Fulton County and staked their dubious claims. By then, they had families, and so there they remained. It was also during the first half of the 20th century that chrome tanning, a chemical procedure that made leather more supple and water-resistant and dramatically sped up the whole process, became the industry standard, replacing traditional vegetable tanning and making tanneries even more hazardous, not just for workers, but also for those who lived nearby and, especially, downstream. Speed, efficiency, and technology had trumped art and craft, not to mention public safety. That said, between 1890 and 1950, people in Gloversville made good money. Some of them a lot of it. Drive along Kingsborough Avenue, which parallels Main Street, and have a gander at the fine old houses set back from the street and well apart from one another, and you'll get a sense of the prosperity that at least the fortunate ones enjoyed until World War II. Even downtown Gloversville, which by the 1970s had become a Dresden-like ruin, still shows signs of that wealth. The Andrew Carnegie Gloversville Free Library is as lovely as can be, and the old high school, which sits atop a gentle hill, bespeaks a community that believed both in itself and that good times would not be fleeting. On its sloping lawn stands a statue of Lucius Nathan Latour, one of the richest men in the county, whose extended arm appears to point at the grand marble edifice of the nearby Eccentric Club, which refused him membership because he was a Jew. Down the street is the recently restored Glove Theater, where I spent just about every Saturday afternoon of my adolescence. There was also a charming old hotel, the Kingsborough, in whose elegant dining room Monsignor Krugler, whom I'd served as an altar boy at Sacred Heart Church, held weekly court after his last Sunday Mass. Once it was razed, visitors had to stay in nearby Johnstown, out on the arterial highway that was supposed to breathe new life into Gloversville, but instead, all too predictably, allowed people to race by, without stopping or even slowing down, en route to Saratoga, Lake George, or Montreal.